This is a story of two rooms. Rooms like many others with some furniture, a few toys, items of everyday life. Rooms not unlike the ones that shelter your family. Two rooms with only one real difference. One is destroyed by fire while the other one's saved by a simple and effective device. When a fire starts in a home, it usually begins slowly. An unintended candle or a short-circuited wire can smolder in furniture or elsewhere for a long time before a flame begins to consume whatever is in its reach. Even before flames are noticed, the highly toxic smoke can overcome a person very quickly. Going back into the home for any reason is not an acceptable risk. Once the fire begins to grow, the fire will double in size every minute. If it takes just 10 minutes for the fire department to get the 911 call and respond, and then get water inside onto the fire, it has already grown 2,000%. The temperature inside the fire room has now rocketed from 70 degrees to more than 1,000 degrees at the ceiling and almost 400 at the floor. Nearby rooms are already at a lung-searing 375 degrees with thick, toxic smoke, which can kill in as little as 2 breaths, banking all the way to the floor. Anyone still inside the room without the firefighter's protective gear is likely dead. Anyone in another room with the door closed has precious few minutes for rescue. The fire will break out the windows and spread throughout the home, destroying everything in its path. Firefighters may need to use hundreds or even thousands of gallons of water to stop the fire. The damage is staggering. Even though this fire burned for just 4 minutes before the firefighters stopped it. Luckily, no one perished this time. While we must all strive to prevent fires, sometimes things go wrong. A cord shorts out, an appliance malfunctions, a spark from a fireplace escapes. In this case, though, the fire won't be spreading its deadly influence. Within 30 seconds of open flame, a single fast reaction home fire sprinkler stops the fire. A little flame and smoke damage, minor water damage limited to the room of origin. The rest of the home untouched. It can still be occupied.
What percentage difference in cost for each side would you say?
Well, I think the suppressed side, again, we estimated at $2,000 to $3,000. The non-suppressed side, we estimated at $25,000 to $30,000, and that, of course, isn't taking into account any contents replacement or cleaning, which can oftentimes equal the structural restoration numbers, depending on the quality of items and the amount of items.
Only one sprinkler activates at a time when the high heat of a fire reaches the sprinkler. Most residential fires can be controlled by one sprinkler, and when turned off by firefighters, use an average 200 gallons of water. In this demonstration, firefighters used more than 300 gallons, while the sprinkler only discharged 58 gallons.
Does the water from sprinklers contribute to the damage?
Well, that's kind of a common misconception. Generally speaking, a fire sprinkler system will set off one head at a time, not many heads like we see on TV or in the movies. That one head will use about 200 gallons of water. Now, without a residential sprinkler system, a fire department arrives, and to extinguish your fire, by the time they get there, they're going to use somewhere around 7,000 gallons of water. So you can see there's a great difference in water damage between a residential sprinkler system and not having one.
Besides the cost of restoration, there are additional living expenses while repairing the home.
Well, the difference would be in a sprinklered home, you may have $3,000 to $4,000 damage, but it would be refined to one room. Whereas a non-sprinklered home, it could burn the entire house down. So the difference would be you can still stay in your home while they're fixing the $3,000 to $4,000 damage to your home. That's not something that's would cause you to have to leave. On a non-sprinklered home, you may have to leave for anywhere up to a year, 6 months to a year. So that's the difference, and incur some additional living expenses. expenses and things like that.
Common misperceptions about residential fire sprinklers are that they are ugly, expensive, and likely to discharge if there's not a fire. Fire Marshal Ron Morris dispels these myths.
That's a common misconception out there. A residential sprinkler system will cost you about the same price as having a flooring upgrade in your home when you're having it built. So it's not a great amount of money for the benefit you gain by having that system in your home. Also, there's a conception that you will have pipes running across your ceiling and in your walls. The residential sprinkler systems are installed just like your plumbing in your home. They're all behind the walls, they're above the ceilings. The heads that are used are very inconspicuous. They're not unattractive to your home. They make a very nice addition to your home, and they give you, in most cases, a benefit and an insurance break on your premiums.
Don't sprinklers go off sometimes when there's not a fire?
No, that's another common misconception with sprinklers. Sprinkler systems do not go off like a smoke alarm. They're not going to go off when you burn the toast or when you burn dinner or have some smoke in your home. The only time a fire sprinkler system activates is when the temperature in a home reaches a degree where it melts the fusible link and the sprinkler is set off. And sometimes that's around 200 degrees, so you don't have that kind of heat in your home unless you have a fire. So the chances of them going off without there being a fire are very, very minimal.
Although for demonstration purposes, black iron pipe was installed in this old house below the ceiling, in an actual residential installation, the piping will be installed in joister wall spaces, protected from freezing by insulation, and the heads concealed by a nearly invisible cap. Home fire sprinklers do save money and save precious water resources, but they are designed and installed to protect people. They provide people and their pets valuable time to escape and protect those unable to escape on their own. And for when the worst happens, have home fire sprinklers to protect what you value the most.